Afternoon, everybody. Uneducated Economist. So we did it. The channel's hit 10,000 subscribers. You know, when I started this channel, I would have been happy if I got a handful of subscribers and a couple of comments. I was just looking for somebody to talk economics with. And this channel has really grown to something great. And I can't thank you guys enough, you know, especially all the new subscribers who have come to the channel from Prowse. Prowse, I must have been promoting my channel a couple of times because I see comments coming in saying, hey, Prowse sent me here. I'm a new subscriber. Thanks for all the great videos. And I got to go check out Prowse's YouTube channel. I went to it, checked it out. He does do-it-yourself power, like off the power grid, solar powers type videos and how to set them up. Seems like an excellent guy, very good communicator. And I'm going to leave a link down in the description for his YouTube channel. So I really appreciate if you go and check out Prowse and give him a thumbs up on his videos and let me know what you think of his stuff. And I'm going to do the same. Hopefully I'll get a chance to go through and watch a bunch of his videos tonight. I really got to thank the people who have been with me from the beginning, the early subscribers to this channel. You guys were the ones who gave me the encouragement to keep going. You're the ones who said excellent videos, keep them coming, and, you know, really let me know that I was doing a good job here. And I can't thank you guys enough. You are really the meat of this channel. And everybody who comments, you know, when you put comments down there in the comment section, that's where the gold is. That's what this channel is all about. It's the discussion that we have. I put up the question, I put out the topic, and it's really down there where everybody is commenting. That's where, you know, the real value of this channel is. It's you guys who comment. So I really appreciate that. And I got to give a thank you to everybody who has sent me a tip on PayPal and the Cash App. Thank you guys. You don't know how much that means to me and my family. You know, I try and send a thank you to everybody who, I try and send an email out to everybody who sent me a tip on PayPal. And if I've missed you, thank you now. I thank you, because it does, every time you send me a tip, it really gives me the encouragement that I'm doing something great here. And it keeps me going. And I can't thank you guys enough, you know. And if, you know, if you haven't commented and if you haven't sent me thank you guys for watching. Thanks for, like, you know, talking about my videos, and thanks for the thumbs up. I mean, you know, we're building this channel, and like I said, when I started this, I never really expected anything to come from it. I was just looking for a handful of people to talk economics with, and look what it's done. I mean, we have grown to something really great here. So thank you so much for doing this for me. It's really changed my life. It has. Thought I'd talk a little bit about the administration's plan to suspend tariffs. Have you guys heard of this one? I'm going to leave a link down in the description for you guys. So it turns out the administration wants to suspend tariffs for 3 months. And the reasoning behind it is to add some relief of the financial strain that these tariffs are causing on the American companies. Isn't this kind of opposite of what they were talking about the tariffs when they first instituted them? When they first set up these tariffs and started hitting the American companies with them, they were saying this is a great thing. This is a great thing for America. This is a great thing for the American people. But now that we have a recession right around the corner and all this financial strain that's taken on these companies, they need to relieve the companies of those tariffs so that they, you know, because it's too much burdensome on them. But this is something that I found interesting when I read this article, is that they're not suspending them like, hey, you don't have to pay them. We're not going to, you know, we're not going to charge you these tariffs. What they're saying is that we're going to suspend them, and then at the end of 3 months, you owe them all. Very much like the forbearance on these mortgages, that people were thinking that, hey, I can, like, you know, not make my mortgage payment for these next 3 months, and they'll just tack it on to the end of the whole mortgage itself. That's not what's taking place. What they're saying is like, same thing with these mortgages, is that if you skip these 3 months, at the end of 3 months, you owe it all. So these companies who are already suffering from a financial strain, where are they going to come up with all that money right away at the end of 3 months in order to pay the backlog of tariffs that they didn't pay? It's I was thinking about this. See, our company is based on debt. Our company, every company, America, people, everything. It has to do with how much debt you can take out and how much debt expansion there is. So right now, as people are failing to make their payments, they are anticipating that here in 3 months, things are going to be better and that they can roll these payments into a new loan. And that's what I have a feeling that they plan on doing with these tariffs too, is that when these companies come out here in 3 months or so saying, hey, we got all this tariffs that we need to owe, we need to take out a loan to pay them, and that's when they're going to sell their bonds. And a lot of these companies, they're going to be in junk bond status by that point. So who's going to step in to loan them the money? You think it's going to be the American people who are financially strained? Or do you think it's going to be the Federal Reserve who's going to change their attitude about junk bonds? See, right now, they're only buying high premium bonds. But in 3 months, there's going to be a lot of companies who are going to owe tariffs. They're going to owe a lot of money in tariffs. And who's going to step up to loan them the money? Who's going to buy the bonds? Right? The Federal Reserve. See, they're expanding their balance sheet right now, and they've talked about how they're going to back off on the amount of treasuries they're going to buy. See, they're buying $75 billion worth of treasuries like a day, and they're going to cut that back to $60 billion a month. Or not a month, a day. It's just like, the numbers are just so hard to even wrap your head around at this point. You know, like, prior to the financial crisis of 2008, the entire Federal Reserve balance sheet was $850 billion. They're doing $850 billion of credit expansion, of adding to their balance sheet, in the matter of just a few weeks. For years and years, almost 100 years, it took the Federal Reserve to put $850 billion on their balance sheet, and in a matter of a few weeks, they've added that much. We're coming into some really interesting times here, guys. I don't even know what to expect. That's what the economy is going to look like in the next year or two, let alone the next few weeks. If we go into negative interest rates, there was economists 10 years ago who would say that negative interest rates can't even exist. They would say that it's an impossibility, but yet here we are, inches away from it. You know, you look at countries like Germany and Japan, and, you know, the administration has talked about how, like, we should be like Germany and Japan, have negative interest rates. We should have that in our country. We should be able to borrow money and pay back less than what we've borrowed. Those countries are not doing awesome. If they were doing awesome, if their economies were ripping and roaring, if they were like the unique one on the bunch, but they're not. Their countries are in recession. If they're not in recession, they're suffering. Their manufacturing is suffering. Negative interest rates was not a great thing for them. So yeah, that's an interesting one. They're going to hold off on tariffs for 3 months. And then at the end of 3 months, all these companies are going to end up owing it. And they're not going to have the money. They're going to have to borrow it. And how do they borrow it? With bonds. They sell bonds. Or they're going to get a bailout somehow. And I have a feeling that a lot of these companies might end up getting nationalized. Just saying. Anyhow, I figured that would be a great one for the discussion. Uneducated Economist. You guys let me know.